How old is the Earth? When did the first animals appear? How long ago did humans most recently share a common ancestor with chimpanzees? Answering questions such as these about the history of life on our planet requires a deep time perspective. Fortunately, geologists and biologists have developed tools for estimating just how long ago such events took place. For biologists, this ability to tie the history of life to the geological timescale allows us to develop an evolutionary timeline and to understand how major events in Earth history affected the evolution of life on Earth. Paleontology, the study of fossils, is critical to the study of evolutionary biology because fossils provide the only direct evidence of the history of life on Earth. In order to understand how old a fossil is, geologists use a technique called radiometric dating. This technique makes use of the fact that radioactive elements decay at a constant rate. Therefore, by studying ratios of different radioactive elements preserved in rocks, geologists can often estimate the age of a rock with amazing precision. This can be true for relatively young fossils and human artifacts, such as those only a few thousand years old, or for extremely ancient rocks, the oldest of which are more than 4 billion years old. Evolutionary biologists have another way to estimate how long ago evolutionary events took place. This technique, called the molecular clock, uses the rate at which DNA sequences evolve to estimate how long ago a pair of species most recently shared a common ancestor. By estimating the rate at which the A's, T's, C's, and G's of a DNA sequence change, biologists can examine the frequency of differences between two species' DNA and thereby estimate when those species diverged. For example, recent research using the molecular clock suggests that many of the major groups of living birds last shared a common ancestor about 66 million years ago, shortly after the extinction event that wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs. These results suggest that this extinction event may have stimulated the evolutionary radiation of living birds, possibly as a result of birds moving into new niches left empty by victims of the extinction. By combining insights from the fossil record, radiometric dating, and molecular clocks, we are in the process of refining a timeline for major events in the history of life on Earth. For example, we now know that photosynthetic bacteria had created an oxygen-rich global atmosphere by 2.5 billion years ago. The earliest eukaryotes, organisms with complex cells, arose by 1.6 billion years ago. About 541 million years ago, many new kinds of animals appear in the fossil record, an event called the Cambrian explosion. The first permanently land-dwelling vertebrate animals appear in the fossil record about 340 million years ago. The first dinosaurs appear around 240 million years ago, and if we fast forward through much of recent Earth history, we find that the human lineage diverged from our closest living relatives, the chimpanzee lineage, about 7 million years ago. This ability to tie the evolution of life on our planet to its history allows us to understand the pace of biological evolution and to understand how major events in Earth history have influenced the evolution of life.